Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICM's midday session. We had a series of economic indicators that came out earlier today. Starting with the Asian session, we had the GDP from Australia, which showed that the Australian economy recovered by or grew by 3.3% in the third quarter versus expectation of 2.6. This was an optimistic view on the Australian economy and pushed a little bit the Australian dollar higher. Also, we had the German retail sales, which also showed an expansion by 2.6%, which is good. And the producer price index from the Eurozone also picked up a little bit in November by 0.4%. Moving to currency pairs, the dollar was still weakening against the euro and commodity currencies. However, now we're seeing a little bit of setbacks. While the British pound failed at almost 134.40 following headlines from the EU chief negotiator Michel Barnier, which mentioned that the main issues remain unsolved on Brexit, and this just weighed on the British pound. So moving to the euro dollar, we're going to start with the top that we're currently trading at. Was around 2087, which was exactly the previous top, that we talked about ahead. That was a key one in 2017 ahead of a bigger correction and then a continuation higher. So this was the clear top, so you can know where this point was noted from. And then we have now 2147, 2150, which was also another low during the second quarter of 2018. And also you can set the lower bound again. So these could be the coming resistance levels for the euro dollar if you're trading the euro dollar: 2080, 2150, and 2215. While on the downside, any reversal back below 120 would definitely lead to a bigger correction. We need to post lower lows and lower highs in order to just trigger another correction lower. So 120 remains a key support, and then 119.20, which was also previous top and was the final support ahead of this push higher. The British pound against the US dollar, so following its rally to 34.40, back again towards the range, the previous range between 133 and 132.60. So definitely you highlight this area that we've been talking about for a while: 32.80, 32.60 to 33.10 as support area, while resistance is now interim near almost 34 and again 34.40. These are the key levels for the British pound against the United States dollar. Can also highlight this trend line, so watch out for any break below this trend line, which held a while ago and led a slight pullback in the British pound against the US dollar. The dollar against the Japanese yen is rallying strong of the day. The yen is among the weakest currencies across the board. So note 104, 104.80, 104.75 as resistance area. Watch out for this point. If we were able to clear above it, then definitely 105.30, 105.60 is the coming target. On the downside, any move back lower below interim support of 120 could just trigger a bigger correction back towards 103.65. The dollar against the Swiss franc it found the support, or it's holding near the previous bottom, almost 89.80. So any break below could just lead to a bigger move lower. You can just set some targets by just applying the extension of the Fibonacci. So the long run 123.6 could be coming at 89.30, 0.8930. While as long as we're below 1920, if we just move back above 1920, 1930, which was key support area, could just lead a bigger move higher or a bigger rally towards this trend line, combining the previous stops. So it could come somewhere near almost 1990 zone, which is also a key area. Australian dollar against the US dollar, as we said, 73.40 remains support, and we found support here also two times. We had double bottom formation and the market moved higher again. 74.10, 74.15 remains a key area. So now we're trading sideways, and this consolidation zone, a break above would lead to a retest towards 75, which was historically a previous top, and a drop back below 73.40 could just trigger a bigger correction. Also mind this trend line here. So, or if you're looking for maybe some reversals, or you want to confirm a reversal, just look for any break below this trend line. The New Zealand dollar against the US dollar still continuing higher, trading almost near the upper part of 70, 70, 80, 70, 60 now. So we're just pointing support at 70.50 and another one at 70 psychological level. Any drop back below these could just mean that the price is losing a bit of momentum. You're seeing this sideways move here. It's irrelevant to what we were witnessing before. So before we had bigger moves higher with corrections, and now we're having slight sideways movement. So this could just mean that we are a bit losing momentum. So watch out for any break below these levels. While 71 and 71.60 remain key resistance areas for the New Zealand dollar. The US dollar against the Canadian dollar also tumbled. So commodity currencies in general, they were stronger across the board. So if you just draw this channel, the previous tops and bottoms, we're just trading inside this channel. So watch how this will come and play. Any break back above the upper side, 29.70 could lead to a bigger correction towards so this area here, almost 29.70, 29.80 with the trend line, and the previous support could just lead to a bigger correction towards 30.25. And as long as we're below here, we can just target more bottoms, almost near the bottom side of the channel, 28.80 first and 28.30. Gold prices extended the rally, rising to almost 18.30. So you can just highlight, previously we had this slight area here where we had a pullback, and then it was support and then resistance, and now we're closing in. So in the morning we had this situation here that we were trading at. So this is just a consolidation form that we had a pause in, and then we pushed higher again. So the coming resistance, if you're just going to look at the previous bottoms, you can just highlight 1850, 1848 area where it held for a while. So this could be the coming resistance zone for gold if we just were able to clear above this area. If we want to do some Fibonacci, you can see some confluence here for the latest. So if you just want to take the drop itself, you can see some confluence between almost 1830, almost 1835 as resistance levels, since we're currently near these levels here. So watch out for any break back below 1818. It could drive us back lower towards 1800, while continuation here could just pose another push higher towards 1852. Silver prices, silver is just stronger. If we go to the H4 chart, I'm just going to draw this trend line that we are closing to it again. This trend line was also the upper side of the channel. So we're just closing into this again. And if we're just going to touch it for the fourth time, I guess it could be more vulnerable for a break higher. So we can just highlight this area between 25 and 26 was key support here, key resistance previously, could be turning also again key resistance, and then also this key support area and resistance failure here could be another resistance level. So 25, 26 zone is just the next zone to watch out for silver, as long as we are above 2260. Any move, a bigger correction, a move below 2260, and on an interim or a closer look at 2350 could just lead to a bigger correction. So 2360, as long as we're above it, we could be poised to test the upper the trend line or the upper side of the channel, while any move back below 2360 could just lead to another dip towards 2260. Oil prices just moved slightly lower, so we're still trading inside the same range, just waiting for OPEC meeting tomorrow. The API yesterday showed a buildup in inventory, so also the US Energy Information Administration will be revealing the official numbers today. So also watch out for these figures. I'm just gonna redraw the channel here so you can see the formation that we are trading in. So this was the bigger channel that we were working in, we're trading in, and now this is almost a consolidation sideways move down that started ahead of OPEC meeting. So watch out for the breakout of this channel. Dow Jones also were stuck between the trend line and the 30,000, which was 30,090, which was previously the top. So we highlighted this yesterday, and this was previously. So this is the formation that we're trading in for Dow Jones. Any close back below or any dip back below the trend line could just lead to bigger correction, 29,180 and 28,900. While as long as we're above it, we can just target or aim for higher levels near around 30,400. So you can just draw certain trend lines or just merged the previous tops, and where they could be the possible targets for any longs for the Dow Jones. This is all for the analysis. We have a series of economic indicators coming out also from ahead in the US session. So among them, the ISM services PMI, and Jerome Powell will be testifying for the second day. So this is just what we need to watch out for. Just like reminded, all the information, news, analysis, and opinions mentioned in this live session, they're only for educational purposes and shouldn't be taken as a signal whether to buy or to sell any financial instrument, and ICM doesn't provide any investment advice. This is all for today. Thank you all for joining.